If you enter the door, you will find a suitcase, and then on the wall you will find a vegetable. Where's it coming from? Here's the music. And there's no music. There's the music. Music. Who has the music? Who is having the music? I thought they. No. Yes. Let's try to get the same answer. Okay. Okay, let's try. Yeah, but then one of the survive the difference of penalty 6 money in this hour. So you see one have one person who have that. When they give us one, give us stand, things like that. Pray on this one and cash people sad and some stuff. That's even those parts we have one time. Then the extended hands is going to be your own mouth to speak us to the ones. The ones to speak us and just way us. Thank you so much. Every love be burning down. Let's go. Let every lamp be burning down. Easter is nearing, the darkest of us no night before the Lord's appearing. Thanksgiving, my brethren, that we God if the Master's coming, go with me, let every lamp be burning.
Greatness is burning, where is the living faith upon promise of returning? Thank you, my brethren, dear, that you will God if you, the Master's coming, go with him like day, will be bound in. Is what Allah means to the God, Lord be mistaken, Lord angels, so every sun shall not be forsaken. Then is my brethren dear, then three God every the Master's coming, always new, let every love be bound in. Then let go sweet better be to the head. Thou art so be spring, thy blessing when faith has firmly bound down. Then my brethren dear, then God if you, the Master's coming, always be there, will not be bound in. Loving Father, what in heaven, we thank you, dear God, for giving us this chance again to come before you. We pray that you may forgive us of our sins, our slothfulness, and you may empower us to gain interest in the things of eternity. We pray that you may guide us and give us wisdom as we learn the simple remedies that you have given us in nature. Let your blessings be upon us is our humble prayer in Jesus' name. So, welcome again, everyone, to our today's class. And today I'm going to do some quick practicals that God has enabled us and provided for us to help us prepare for the final great battle. We've been learning here the principles of health message, the natural laws of health that are needed for us in order to get well. We learned about proper nutrition, and still in our next classes, we will be going deeply into those classes, those principles, and also highlighting some of the treatments that accompany them. Yesterday, we talked about the food elements that are important for our diet. Who can remember, not for our diet, but our health, the food nutrients that our body needs. And then we highlighted some few seeds that are important for us. So who can remind us some of the 6 most important nutrients of the body? Yes? What? Proteins? Yes.
Some seeds like
Okay. That's good. We talked about the seeds, and you've already mentioned them. What are the food nutrients that are needed for our body? Yes. Carbohydrates that are broken down into simpler particles, the starches, it's polysaccharides and monosaccharides. Yes. Zinc as a specific mineral. Okay, we saw the vitamins and the minerals. And what else? Water. What else? Fats. Yeah, fats have been talked about. What is protein has been tackled. Now we have tackled all of them. Now we need to understand that our body is made up of systems that work together. How many systems did we cover? 11 systems. And this system, we say that they work like the gifts in the church. All of them need one another. And then we also tackle the cell. That our cell is the basic unit of life. And also we realize that the blood, in order to have good life, we must have what? We must have what? Yes, we must have good blood. Good blood. And in order for the brain to operate well, what must happen? There must be perfect circulation, and another thing, proper or pure blood. Now in this world, there is only one disease upon this world. The others are just manifestation of that disease. The only disease we have is impure blood, because all diseases stem from impure blood. So when the blood is gotten is made to operate rightly, then all the manifestations of disease, be it arthritis, be it heart disease, be it eye problems, be it problems of the bowels, be it cancer, hypertension, diabetes type 1 or 2, all of them stem from an impure what? Blood. We also discussed further the pH of the blood. What did we say the pH of the blood is or ranges between? For those who are there, 4 points to 4 points, 7 points, 7.35 to 7.45. Then we went down to discuss the type of foods that make the blood acidic. What were they? What are the types of foods that make your blood to be acidic? Yes? Okay. The refined products, the sodas, the beverages, the coffee, the tea, the brown or white rice taken constantly, it makes your blood to be, yes, the white chapati flour or wheat flour. The end result is acidity in the blood. The meat, where we have flesh, where we have the pork, the mutton, the meat from the pig, where we have the beef from the cow, the chicken. They always tell us that the white meat is better than the red meat, but that is not so. The white meat contains higher levels of fats that builds cholesterol in the body than the red meat. And most people who have a problem with the heart problem, if they take the white meat, they will be posed to the danger of heart attack than those who are in red meat. It doesn't mean that red meat is good for your system, because the end of the simulation is acidic blood. And when your blood is acidic and you have chemicals in your body, it will result in something called inflammation. Inflammation is swelling, and it is accompanied by pain. If you want to know that there is inflammation in your body, you will also be experiencing pain. And when you experience pain in your body, it means there is a death of cells. The cells die because they try to fight the enemy, which is the bacteria, which is the virus, which is the fungus, and maybe protozoans. These are external, I can say, predators that get advantage of your weak immunity. When your immunity is weak, because your blood is impure, that is when all those diseases, all those manifestations of diseases come to you. In order to remove them, your blood must be alkaline, between 7.35 to 7.45. And we also realize that when we take the foods wholesomely, grains, fruits, vegetables, and nuts, they make our blood to be in the right pH, depending on how they have been prepared, because you can prepare even a vegetable in a way that is going to make your blood acidic. You can prepare grains in a way that is going to make your body acidic. And you know that most of the legumes, beans, can be red, yellow, white, beans, or black beans. When they are not soaked, they have something called phytic acid. And that phytic acid, when it gets into your system, you're going to develop hyperacidity. The acidity in your stomach is going to be elevated. And then you're going to experience problems like acid reflux or ulcers. Hyperacidity, you feel the burning sensation and the throat. So they need to be soaked at least 8 hours before they are cooked. And then you pour out that water for the benefit of your stomach and the benefit of the good bacteria in your stomach. Now, we also realize that the seed help us to fight inflammation. They help us to fight inflammation by encouraging the growth of good cells that will eliminate the bad cells. Are you getting me? Yeah, so we find the flaxseed, the chia seeds, the sesame seeds, and quinoa seed, pumpkin seeds. They are packed with some of the minerals and vitamins, also vitamin E, that is important for your brain, important for your spinal cord. So they need to be incorporated in the diet in order to help your body to be strong enough to fight the disease. Most people who are plant-based, who depend on plant-based diet, are weak because they don't incorporate the seeds and the nuts in their diet. And they lack the protein that is essential for fighting, developing a strong DNA and strong immune system, because your immune cell must depend on the antibodies and the antigens that are there. The antibodies will work well when there's good fats in your system. If you don't have enough protein from the nuts and the seeds and the legumes, your body becomes weakened, and even other diseases, the bacteria takes opportunity to and fight the good cells because they are weaker, they don't have enough food. Yeah, so proteins are very important for your body to fight bacteria and virus. Because what the virus does, it is built up from the protein or amino acids, they bind to them and then they take an advantage to fight for this. I don't know if you will continue to hear me. Okay. I don't want to stay in the month because I'm still recovering. Now, some of these factors that help us to fight disease, we shall go into details when perhaps we'll be studying specific diseases. But what you have to come out with from this class is that the food you eat makes you to be able or enabled to fight the disease. In any disease, any case you meet of a disease, you must know the right food, the right vitamin, the right amino acid, the right B complexes that are needed to help you fight the disease. If you understand it in that line, you will really appreciate your efforts in dealing with many cases. So today I want us to highlight some few natural remedies that we have that can help us to tackle the diseases that we have that are common. And these remedies, a disclaimer, these remedies are not used, should not be used when the person do not understand the principles of health. Are we together? Yeah, these remedies are just helping the body to restore itself. Now, we can read from the book Ministry of Healing, page 127, paragraph 2. What Ministry of Healing 127. The principles that we need to apply in restoring the body that God has given unto us. It says that down, is it paragraph 1? Paragraph 1. Paragraph 1, it says the only hope of better things is in the education of the people in what? Right principles. The only what? Hope. So when you're going to use these remedies, your only hope is educating that person on what? The principle, right principles of health. Let physicians teach the people that restorative power is not in drugs, but in nature. And then it says disease is an effort of what? Of nature to what? To free the system from the what? Disease is an effort of nature to free the system from what? Conditions that result from a violation of the laws of health. Let me stop there a little bit to explain. So the disease,
just to point
is
in the middle.
Thank you. Disease is an effort of nature. Is it a friend or is it an enemy? Disease, is it an enemy or a friend? Disease is a what? A friend. So if you are vomiting, you should praise the name of the Lord. If you are feeling a lot of pain, you should praise the name of the Lord because your body is speaking to you and telling you that there's something wrong with you and you need to change it. Okay? So it is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from the violation of the laws of health. So there are conditions that perhaps we have engaged in or indulged in that makes our body to go on a strike. Your body to go on a what? A strike and put and blow a very big microphone, a loud microphone, by making you to experience fever, to have cancer, to have hypertension, to have diabetes. That is a loud voice that the body is trying to do what? To shout unto you. It is only that sometimes you don't hear and try to switch off the button, right? Turn off the battery so that the body may not continue to strike. It is helping you. And those conditions that result from the violation of health may be eating between meals. Eating between what? Meals. We are told the body, the stomach requires solid food. Requires what? Solid food. And in the morning, you need to have a heavy breakfast, something that is heavy. And that will make your cell, the stomach cells, to exercise their power as required. Then if you take light meals or a drink for a meal, and you take about 12 hours before taking another meal, your stomach cells will be weakened. The muscles in the stomach walls will be weakened. So if you practice that for a long time, it will come a time when your stomach cannot appreciate heavy food. And so you have indigestion, you have fermentation, and you will develop ulcers. You see that? And the breakfast means breaking the fast. In the night, 12 hours, you'll be not eating. So the body is prepared for a big meal, a large meal. So if you don't do that, your stomach later on will be so small, or the mucosal cells or muscles will not be in a position to help with the digestion and breaking down of food. It may be if you eat improperly, eating between meals, the stomach needs to rest for 5 hours before you get the next meal. Are you hearing me? Yes, so that in the next meal, after 5 hours, the food is completely digested. It is ready for another food. What happens if you eat between the meal? The enzymes, the juices that meant to continue the work stops and say, hey, stop, there is another visitor. We have to welcome the what? The visitor. In the process, it blocks the other visitor that was supposed to go to its destination. And so fermentation begins. Alcohol begins forming in your what? In your system. And that results to the impurity of blood. Your blood will be acidic. And then you begin developing other forms of or manifestations of disease. It may be drinking hot, taking hot foods. It kills the cells of your stomach. You need to eat food that are warm. You need not to take very cold what? Food, because it denatures it makes yourself to work in a slow environment, and then also denatures your enzymes so that they cannot digest the food fully. And another thing that we do is using a lot of spices, those condiments in the supermarket that makes your stomach to be irritated. Okay. Yes, it may be eating late before, eating late in the night. Many people are sick and develop diabetes and obesity, hypertension, because of eating late in the night. You want to eat at 8 and go to bed at 9. What happens? That food is not going to be digested completely. It's not going to be digested completely. And so chemicals, alcoholic environment is formed in your stomach, and you develop many diseases. Eating hastily when your mind is not there, it makes your body not to bring forth the required enzymes to digest the food. Don't eat when you are so excited. Eat when you calm down and you are sober. You know why most people are obese? Those who are watching soap operas and watching movies. Someone who's watching movie will overeat. And they always eat in small proportions. Someone can eat about 5 kilos of Irish potato, but they always like the chips. You know the chips? The fried Irish potato? Yeah, the fried Irish potato. Yeah, you can eat it and you forget that you are eating and again begin, and that will create obesity in your system. Yeah, so those principles must be understood, and those conditions must be understood, and the laws of health must be restored. And then it said, in case of sickness, the cause should be ascertained. What has caused the problem? That cause must be ascertained. It is like a pain that has a hole under below it, and you pour water and continuously flow off. So that hole must be blocked. You must search and see where there is a hole. And then the Bible, the inspiration says, unhealthful condition should be changed. That is process number 2. Unhealthful condition should be changed. If you are eating flesh foods, you need to change and go to wholesome plant-based diet. It is the only diet that can make any disease upon the earth that is caused as a result of violation of laws of health to be restored. There is no other way. Then wrong habits should be checked. Wrong habits should be corrected. If it was a married man who is overindulging and has developed prostate cancer, that wrong habit should be what? Corrected. All right, so you say, then nature is to be done what? 2 things that nature is supposed to be help your body to expel what? Impurities. And then after helping the body, you establish right condition in the system. Without this only understood, if rightly understood in our hospitals, if they have a manual having all this and they know everything in this, everyone will be healed and all the hospital will be closed. All the hospital will be closed. Will that be a good news? To some. To some it will be. It will making a billionaire to be a thousandaire. All right. So these principles must be understood in case. It must click into your mind and you must follow that procedure to make sure that things come right. So we have discussed the laws of health prior, and now we want to deal with this, and we shall be going back and forth for any case or any lecture we will be having here. You must help the body to expel impurities by following the laws of health, drinking enough water, eating properly, and then reestablishing right condition by now changing your lifestyle and making sure that everything is right. Are we together? So God has given us in our vicinity, in everywhere we are, some of these simple remedies that can save us a lot of money in the future and in currently. So with me here, I have some things that I want to help us understand. I may not, depending on the time, perhaps I may not be able to cover everything. The kitchen remedies that God has given unto us. Every one of us must know the things in the kitchen that are used in the kitchen, maybe for us foodstuffs that help us in building the body as well as helping us to reestablish the right conditions in the body. So I'm going to begin here with what we have. I'll need one person who will give himself or as a, okay, so welcome. Okay, so anytime you meet a sick person, you must ask the person, you must know about your patient and everything that, yes, you can take a chair and just sit here comfortably. Yeah, so that you don't fall. So with us, we have some simple remedies. Can you identify them? What is this? Irish potato. What is this? Ginger. What is this? Which type of onion? Red bulb onion. Now with us here, with this, you can eliminate a lot of things. A lot of what? A lot of things. And they are a blessing to our life because they are things that we interact with every day, every moment, we see them. So this is a red bulb onion, a very important remedy, a very important natural remedy that we can use to help us. Now, onion is very rich in a certain mineral that helps the body to fight bacteria, to fight virus, to fight fungal infection or fungus. This one here. That smell that you smell or that come from it, that is pungent and sometimes makes you to do what? Shed tears. Have you cut onion and you feel like you want to cry?
Yes.
You shed tears without no one beating you? Yeah, but what is making you to do that is the sulfur in this onion. That sulfur is very destructive to any bacteria and virus. It confuses any virus in the place where it is in contact. With this, you can do a lot of things to help someone. Number one, when you cut it into two, you cut it into equal proportion, two proportions. You will begin smelling some pungent smell. Now, as it releases that smell, it gets into the environment, into the room, it kills the virus, the bacteria, and any other parasite, not parasite, but viruses, bacteria, and the fungus in the room. So it is good even for those who are having flu. If you have a flu, if you have a cough, you need to cut a lot of it and put it in your room, also your bedroom, and with your windows open, as the air circulates in the room, that smell will kill every bacteria, every fungus in the room. And also it is good for young children who are having flu. Children below 6 months you need not to put some serious herbs into their system unless you understand what needs to be given. But you can help them overcome flu using this. Cut it, put it next to their pillow where they sleep, and put others in the corners of the house. It traps every bacteria, virus in that room. And it will help you even to destroy those germs, and the person will be getting better and better. With this, if you have a cough, you can cut it into small pieces, into rings. You know how to cut onions into rings? I don't want to waste a lot of them. You just cut it. Cutting into rings mean the way it is, you will cut this side, cut this side, and then cut it a bit horizontally, like that. And then you will put it into honey. If you have raw honey, you put it in if you have a glass container, you will use it. If you don't have that, you may use a cup. Put the first layer down, some few rings down, pour some honey, and then honey, like about 2 tablespoons of honey, and then add another layer of this. Then on top of it, add another 2 tablespoons of honey, raw honey, and then add another layer until the top one, then you seal with honey. Then store it. If you have something like this, a glass container like this, it will really do you good. Then put it over the counter overnight. In the morning, you can begin using it. It is very good for any flu or a croup. You know a croup? Croup is a cough that is very dry, and when you cough, you feel like, you feel a lot of pain somewhere here. So that honey with onion cut into rings will help you to form a very nice syrup, cough syrup. You don't need to buy the expensive cough syrup outside there. Yes.
You take it with the residues, or you remove the residues.
The residues will not be there. Okay. You can choose to sieve it later on. The more it stays, I prefer it to be there for 3 days, and then you can strain it so that the residues remain in your sieve. And then you preserve it in a glass bottle. It is nice. You need to, if you are a serious medical missionary, you need to pray that God provide for you some nice bottles like this. It will help you to store it for a long time, so that even excess light cannot destroy some of the medicinal properties. So you pour it there, and then when your child is sick, you just put like drops or a teaspoon, and then you take. Maybe when after about 10 minutes, if the cough is very serious, you take it in. Are we together? Yeah. The same you can do with the ginger. You cut into small proportions, put in honey, or pour honey and shake the bottle well, put it somewhere to rest overnight. The same you can do with honey, with garlic. Putting garlic in honey, let it stay for about 3 days, shaking it every morning, and then you strain it and put it somewhere. That will be very good for any respiratory disease, like asthma, like bronchitis, like emphysema. Emphysema is when there are holes in your lungs. You breathe, you don't breathe deeply. Some people breathe with just here. You can see them just on the upper respiratory tract. That is where they are not deep breathers. And if you're not a deep breather, you'll have a problem with your blood, because your blood will not receive enough oxygen. You can faint anytime. And those who are shallow breathers should be doing exercise, the walking exercise, the deep breathing exercise. So that is just one part of one way we use this. Another way is to grate it. You can grate it. I don't have a lot of things here that I will have used to. I'll just pick it up. You grate it, but I don't have something to strain. So you grate it with the finer part of this. I grate it. And after grating it, you squeeze it out so that you have the juice, and that onion juice can be used for earaches. When you have earaches, to me, what I'll do after grating it and straining it, I store that juice in some bottle like this. This bottle have a dropper. It has a dropper that if I do like this, you see, it drops. Yeah, that is very, very nice way, decent way of doing some application. Then you drop it in your ear, one drop here, one drop here. If you have ear problem, ringing ear, tinnitus, or fungal itching ear, are you getting me? You put a drop. And if you are putting in the ear or earaches, or even eardrums that are affected, to restore it, you will use this and alternate with garlic. Garlic, you also make the same way. Grate the garlic, squeeze the juice, put in the bottle, put in your ear, or you can mix with the olive oil. Then put in your ears for any fungal infection, for any problem with your eardrum is broken, you use this oil, this juice. It just need to be a small drop. Don't do a lot of it, a small drop. If you fear that, what you do, you get a cotton. How many of us here have seen a cotton? Yeah, it is black in color, right? Most of the times, a cotton is black in color, right? It is white in color, but with me. Now you put it, you dip it in the juice, and then put it here in the ear, this side, and this other side, and you sleep with it. If it is the daytime, you can stay with it. That helps to the medicinal properties get into the ears, and then it helps to remove or kill the bacteria, and then you will be restored with time. Alongside the other 8 laws of health: exercise, sunshine, being in the open air, plant-based diet, it will help you to, if you have a nose that is bleeding, you know, there are some people who have a nose that bleeds anytime, right? Because of the burst, the arteries have burst in the nose, inside the nostrils, maybe because of high pressure. So what you do, you put a drop of onion juice, red bulb onion juice, put here and this side. You just count, in a count of 3 minutes, it will stop. If you have fungus, like ringworms, you smell that juice there in the ringworm. If you have itchy skin, you put a cotton in it and rub where? On the itchy area. Are we together? Yeah, that is onion. And you can take the juice. If you have a bacterial infection, amoeba or typhoid or brucellosis, you can use that juice singly or with garlic. You crush them together, put in warm water, add some lemon juice. For a cup, you use like 2 of this cup of water, that is 250 mils, 2 of red bulb onions, about 3 cloves of garlic, grate well, add into warm water, squeeze 2 lemons, and then take on an empty stomach. For those who have candida, you know candida? Yes. Candidiasis. And those who have amoeba, and those who have brucella, and those who have typhoid, and those who have gonorrhea, and all the STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, you can use onion as the first line of protection for your body. Now, another thing for ear problem, if I've cut them like this into 2, I will use a cloth. You put them in a cloth. It can be, you can buy a socks, maybe white in color, and put them, and then you boil water, and then above it, this is the water, a saucepan with water. So I hang it a little bit up and cover the saucepan so that heat heats it. Are we together? Yes. So what you will do, after about 5 minutes of heating it up, steaming it up, you take it, and if someone has ear problem, or if it is a child or an elderly person, you will put it here in the ear. These are not earphones. And then you cover, you have to tie it so that it may in position. It can be overnight or at least 3 hours later. And keep changing. That is good for any ear problem, any ear ache. Are we together? Yeah, a ringing ear, onion, very powerful remedy. Now, there's another way you can use it if someone has a boil. How many of us here have been attacked by boil? You're lucky. You people are healthy. Boil is a symbol that, a symptom that your body, your blood is acidic. Any boil under your arms, on your bums, on your groins, it is a symbol of acidity in your system. The body is trying to eliminate. The only way the only place they can deposit it is the places that are idle. You know, it cannot, how many people have ever had a boil here? It is rare because it is always at work. So it will be deposited in areas that are not being exercised or getting a lot of exercise flow of air. And then accumulation, the fats, excess fats or toxins are accumulated there. Yes, so what we'll use, if you have a boil, what you use, you can cook this. One method is to cook it. When it is soft, smash it. After smashing it, you apply it on the boil and then put a bandage and then wait for about 3 days. Remove it, or 2 days, depending on how you are feeling. It depends on how you are feeling. Then if you remove it, it will come out with a boil, or the boil will be still in the process of bursting. Then if you remove it maybe after 3 days and the boil is not yet ripened, does not become red and concentrated, because it helps in drawing the toxin, those chemicals and dead cells into one place so that it can be removed. Are you following? Yeah, so you put it in a boil, and sometimes we use it in a tumor, depending on the nature of the tumor. If God gives us time, we shall know how to handle specific tumors in specific places. But if it is just in these areas that are calm, are not active, and are not sensitive, we can use this one. You can use garlic also. Another way is just to use it the way it is, just grate it and mix it with some flaxseed. Do you remember the process yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, you make it with some flaxseed and you want to grind these flaxseeds. Flaxseed will act as a binder, and this onion will act as a drawer. It has a pulling effect. So if you have a boil on the hand, you want to apply it like this, and then what you do is, we are not using the right tools here. This toilet paper is not good, 100% good for you. And then you tie it, you wrap it there. It should be well secured. You can have a surrounding wrap. Yes. And then you can have some cloth here tied above your back. Or if you have a bandage, just good. And then you allow it to stay there for 3 days, you pull it out. The same process we can do with egg plant. That is a class for another time. That is onion. We use it even for cancer cases, for softening the cancer cells. And then there is some remedies, some herbs. God is so wonderful. He created some herbs that can help to pull the tumor wherever it is in the body and concentrate it in one place, so that after it has been pulled and concentrated in one place, you can now apply the onion there. And if you come after 3 or 6 days, you just remove the bandage or the wrap, and the cancer tumors are already pulled out. So interesting. That is an advanced stage of applying these potions. And you will have to add some other ingredients that are needed there. Now with this, again, you can use it for what? Do you know what? These things that grow in the skin. There's some growth, little growths. You can see them on the faces of some people. Now, it can help you remove them. You either cook it or just use it fresh. But for what cooking, using it fresh will be very good. Now, what I do is something I don't have yet. It's called apple cider vinegar. You dip it into the apple cider vinegar overnight, and then in the morning it will be very soft. And then I apply it, just smear it here and put a bandage here. After 3 days, pull it out, the watch is gone. Okay. Yeah, so onion, very important. If a young child is having cold, flu, cough, a young child below 2 years, this can really help. You cut it into small pieces and tie it on the sole of the foot. Look at the child here, and then put socks. Yeah, with onion, you can put it directly. If you fear it, you can put the first layer of socks and then you put it there, and then you put another socks overnight. It will help in this medicinal properties will be diffusing through the blood into the system. And you know the foot is connected to every organ in the system. And so there's a very close connection with the chest area and the neck to your foot there. Yeah. Every part of your foot, even your hand, there's a way they are connected to every organ in your body. So that if someone is having a specific problem, you can do some massages and trying to do deep presses on some areas of the arm and the foot to trigger the flow of blood to the specific organs. Are we together? Yeah, so that is onion, a very simple treatment and very useful. Now, you need to note this. Once you cut the onion like this, never leave it like this open, because it draws every toxin in the system and pulls it into it. The best way, if you are a woman who is economical, you better buy small onions and use them all. Don't cut and preserve it for tomorrow. No. Use a whole onion for that time. Because if you store it, because you want to be economical, it will cost you later on. So it will draw all the toxins in this house. And then you eat that the following day, you become sick and sickly. So onion is our friend and very important. It is good for the heart. This thing is very good for the heart. For those who are having heart problem, you can give them a juice made from this onion. Like if you can prepare a juice made from ginger, you add again a half glass of ginger juice, half glass of onions, half glass of garlic, and then you put like a pinch of cayenne pepper. Then squeeze like a half a glass of lemon, mix them together and give to a person who is having heart problem. A person who is at the verge of collapsing because of heart attack. You give that. If the person has stroke and has fallen down, with that mixture, you will increase cayenne in that mixture to about 1 teaspoon. Make towel and then put under the tongue. The person will be revived in the next, not even 10 minutes, in the next 1 minute. Cayenne goes into the system very fast. Yes. Cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is Cayenne pepper is a is a plant in the family of capsicum, and cayenne and chilies are different. Are we together? Cayenne pepper is totally different from the chilies. We have many types of cayenne. And other chilies, if you try it with the food,
Which is which?
your system, cayenne pepper, look at, for me, the smallest one. This one will confuse you. I want the ones we can get in Africa. This one with the small, this one will confuse you then with the chilies. Most of the chilies are, can you type there, African bird eye cayenne? African bird eye cayenne, because that is what we get. Now, look at this one. The one,
Which one?
this one here, yes,
This.
yes. The one, they are not long, they are not, there are those that are very small, and there's this one, see. There are those ones smaller than this. Have you ever seen them? Now, that one I'm sure of cayenne, because if I tell you the other one, there are a lot of them that can confuse. Of course, there are some other cayenne that are that low, but this one you will be sure of what you are using. So these small ones, smaller ones, are very good cayenne. And cayenne pepper is one of the treatments that, one of the remedies that are very important for you, for the heart, for the circulation of blood. It has a lot of potassium. That is why if you put it at the tongue for someone who is almost going to fail, the person is revived, because the potassium goes into the brain, and the brain will sensitize all the other organs that needs to bring blood into the right level, and then your body will be activated. Any problem of the heart, be always having cayenne at your vicinity to help with any heart problem. Are we together? Because it boosts circulation. It can. Yeah, it should be grounded. You dry it in an environment, not direct in the sun, and then ground it, and you can use the powder. Still, if you're in a crisis, you can use the fresh. Okay. Next time we shall be discussing and handling cayenne into details. So for the pulses as I was talking about, you can consider adding cayenne. After grounding, after grating this, you can add some cayenne and then apply it on the surface, or where there is a tumor or any boil. Now the next one we have is ginger. We have the ginger. Ginger is very, very helpful in many diseases. With your ginger, you need to grate them very finely. You need to grate it very finely. And then with your bandage or your saran wrap, I want to put the grated thing there. And then if you have problem with pain in your joints, joint pain, you know joint? Yes. Can you show me then one example of a joint? Hmm? Okay, you people are clever. Now, if you have a joint pain, let's say there's a pain here, you can apply this poultice on the area. It should cover the whole area. You cover it well. You can mix it with cayenne. Yeah, and mix there to boost circulation. There are some principles we need to be applying in these poultices that will help you to achieve results in a short time. So you apply it on the joint that is paining, let it cover the whole area, and then seal it up well, and then let the person stay in a settled place. If I had apple cider vinegar, I will apply it, I will put this ginger in it. And if someone has gout, you know gout? Do you know gout? Someone with the fingers, the toes or the hands are like this. Yes, that is gout. It is the uric acid deposited here because of the acidic blood. So what you do, you apply, you make a lot of ginger, you grate it. If you don't have apple cider vinegar, you will only use that. And then put it as a poultice on that hand. Believe me, you in the following morning, in the next morning, that person will be able to do this if you applied it right. Are we together? Very simple. If you have apple cider vinegar, it will go very fast. For any joint pain, you feel pain here, on your fingers, on your toes, everywhere, you use it. And also again, if you have any pain in any area, you grate ginger and apply it as a what? Support. Now, if I have this solution here, this is called DMSO, dimethyl sulfur oxide, DMSO, and it is the fastest or the best solvent on earth. It means that it solves things very fast. And this thing helps you to drive the medicinal components of anything you mix with it into the blood within 1 second. Immediately that thing touches your skin, touches the cell, it goes to the cell immediately. So you will put like about 2 tablespoons in your poultice. If I have a poultice made of something like this, I'll put about 3 tablespoons and then mix well and then apply it directly on the place that is having a problem. It will go to the system immediately. It goes to the system immediately.
I think if you have a turbo car, you go on normal gear, is it? On normal engine, is it? But when you want to reach faster where you are going, you activate the turbo. Are we together? Yeah. So DMSO acts as a turbo to boost the engine, so just to drive the medicine faster than it's moving inside the body.
Yeah, very fast. And this one we use for the cancer cases. You get a cancer that has gone deep into the tissues and you want to pull it out. Most of the breast cancers, some of them go deep into the glands that it is very hard just to apply the herbs normally. So you mix it with it and then just goes immediately. All the medicinal properties. If someone was having malaria here and I have the Artemisia, I have all the herbs that are good for malaria. And this malaria has gone to stage 3 or 4. It is almost weighing down the brain. You have your DMS. You make the solution, you boil that herb, and then for it to get into the system within a minute, you put like a tablespoon of this in a cup of water, mix well, and take. It will go to the blood immediately. There are some cases that if you are handling, you don't just do them, service normally. You have to go deeper. There are those people, you've never met sick people who are suffering from cancer. Someone is in stage 3 and 4, you don't joke with them. Giving just herbs normally, you bring a cup of tea and giving will not rescue that person. It will force you sometimes to get extracts. extracts are made in that, you know, if you're dealing with malaria and you're dealing with Artemisia, it has the that Artemisinin, that compound that kills the parasite. But if you're just giving a tablespoon like this for someone who is suffering from that malaria of stage 3 and 4, it will not, it require you to, that person to drink about 8 to 10 cups in order to achieve the desired proportion. That is why the hospital concentrates their drugs in that you take Panadol, within 10 minutes, the pain is gone. What do you do to achieve that? I will do an extraction using this DMSO. So I put, like, if I was to give 10 tablespoons of Artemisia in order to fight the malaria that is almost affecting the cerebellum, I'll put about 20 tablespoons of this and put my DMSO. Are you following? And put it in a glass bottle like this, and then I allow it to settle. Within 12 hours, it has extracted all the medicinal properties that make Artemisia strong. Have you heard of quinine? Quinine is given to those who are having malaria that is almost bringing down the brain. Now, quinine is extracted from a plant that is called cinchona. They extract that medicinal property, chemical called quinine, all right, from which they make quinine from it. So what we do to extract that quinine is to add DMSO to the powder or that cinchona tree. And if you give that in drops, you just give it in drops, because it's so concentrated, just a drop, it gets to the blood immediately. A drop, it gets to the blood immediately. Don't wait, it doesn't even reach here. Before it reaches here, it is already gone to the what? To the blood. And you can do chemotherapy using this. You understand chemotherapy to be a very complex term. It is chemicals injected into the blood. You can do that with any herbal medicine you have, the chemotherapy. So what do? You extract or make sure that you have rightly extracted your medicinal property, your remedies well, and then you add the DMSO into it, you stir well and drink. Are we together? Yeah. And the concentration will be very high. Or another thing you can use is this is molasses, blackstrap molasses. We use it a lot in the extraction of the medicinal properties and to preserve it. So you get the right blackstrap molasses. For instance, for example, I have malaria. So with malaria, I know pawpaw is good for malaria. I know neem is good for malaria. I know cinchona is good for malaria. Artemisia is good for malaria. And tithonia. So what I do, I want to use the ones that are dry. The ones that are dry are very, very easy to make this so that it doesn't get spoiled later on. So what you do, you soak them. These are things that medical missionaries should be doing. You just have it in stock. When someone is sick, you just go and launch it. America is having, 15 nuclear wars. They are just stored for the battle. When the battle comes, they don't go to prepare it. It is already there. So as medical missionaries, we should be ready with something that is more than a bombshell. So you put the right amount, like I want to make like about 100 meals, but very concentrated. I just use it in drop. So I put like about 100 grams of tithonia powder, 100 grams of neem powder, 100 grams of Artemisia powder, 100 grams of pawpaw leaf powder, 100 grams of tithonia, and then I put about 3 liters of water. You cover it in a saucepan. It stays overnight. the following morning, it will have extracted some medicinal properties, but not all. So what you do is you take it and put it in on fire. You put it on fire under low heat. Then it eats for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you sieve it. After sieving, you'll be having around 2 liters of it. You sieve it, and then you add about for that 4 liters, for that 3 liters of water. After sieving, you will add about 8 cups, but not this big cup. It will be 250 milliliters. Not 250, about 150 milliliters of molasses. You add 8 of them and let it boil for 8 minutes. After that, store it in a bottle, dark bottles like this. And that one you just give a tablespoon. You give for a very sick person, you give like 2 tablespoons after every 2 hours. And that makes your medicine so strong. And we can rival the hospitals in the strong drugs that they have. You can add the dimethoin to it to make it a little bit stronger and continue to extract. And then you store it in dark bottles like this. Are we together? Yeah. So that is dimethoin used, and it is with itself, it can clear many diseases. If you have thyroid problem, if you have Lyme's disease, if you have heart problems, if you have what? If you have clots, blood clots in the system, it helps with autoimmune diseases because it has methyl. Have you understood have you studied what is known as methyl? That is a deep science. The methyls, every cell, for it to be in a healthy way of operation, it has to attach some of the nutrients, amino acid, the lipids, the minerals into it. Now, the methyl helps to bind all those nutrients into the cell. So if you have it, it helps you to correct every other problem in the cell. It begins working from the stem cells. Are we together? That is the DMSO. You may not get it right now, but you can do the simple methods that we are doing here. So ginger, after grating it, you can use it for any inflammation. For the kidney, you apply it here. For the heart, you apply it here. For your liver, you apply the pulses of ginger here. For your spleen, you apply it here. For your stomach problem, cramps, you apply it here. For any muscle pull, you apply it. You can apply it on the place that is affected. You can extract it, ginger oil, using this. You just need some jar, like the glass jar. You pour your olive oil, grate your ginger. The oil should be covering the ginger completely. And then put it in the sun for 6 days. In the morning, up to the evening, you remove it. The following day for 6 days. And then you can sieve it and put it somewhere. You've just made ginger oil. If you want to do the same with garlic or onion oil, you just grate, put in the oil in the sun, and that can be very useful in helping with skin diseases, with air problems, bald-headedness, and massaging the body because it boosts the circulation of blood. Ginger is very, very important. This ginger here is known as a warming up. It is known as a lead herb. Do you know a lead herb? It leads It is the leader. Everything that you add together with it, it will lead it to its destination. Literally. Because of the chemical components that it has. And then when it reaches that place, it warms the cell. And the cells are happy. Oh, we were dying, but now we are revitalized. And then once it is warm, the medicinal properties gets into the cell. I think I have just about 5 minutes, right? Yeah, thank you. So that is ginger. It will help you in warming the cells and removing the bacteria in the system. If you have ulcers, you can get it, put in water and drink. It helps a great deal. Now, don't miss our class tomorrow. We shall be continuing with all that we have here. We have a lot for you. Don't miss. But above all, I want you to go and practice the knowledge you have here from the things that you can get at your convenience. Amen? Can we pray? Our loving Father, who art in heaven, we just thank you for giving us this time. We thank you for your blessing for our life. We thank you for these simple remedies that you have given at our disposal, that we may be able to use them for the benefits of your children. We pray that you may use us and give us more skills to help us in working out for the sick and also restoring the body of the children. Let your blessings be upon us is our humble prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. So be blessed. If you have a question, write it down. You shall transfer it to me.